Just 20 games into the season, the Rangers have been tested by injuries up and down the roster. But out of that reality springs opportunity. And this young core has answered the call, stepping up and delivering some big moments. After a 500 road trip, Texas returns home where old friends reunite. So good to be home. The Rangers happen to be back, opening a homestand tonight against the Seattle Mariners on Adrian Beltre mini bat giveaway night. Fans celebrating the history they saw last year, and we're celebrating some of the young guys this year. As everybody get loose and ready for the opener for this 3-game series. Well, welcome in, everybody. The season has not started the way the Rangers would have liked. I'm Dave Raymond, and I'm excited to bring in the guy who's going to change it. Here's Tom Grieve with us tonight here at Globe Life Park, and it's great to have you back, Tom. It's great to see two guys who have so much fun playing against one another tonight, too, and Felix and Adrian Beltre.
It seems like we have something to talk about with Adrian Beltre every day as he moves up the all-time ranks. Where he ranks active leaders is interesting to look at as well. First in games, first in at-bats. Only Ichiro has more hits. Only Albert Pujols has scored more runs or driven in more runs. And only Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera have hit more home runs. We're going to show some highlights. His 1,000th hit, his 2,000th hit, and his 3,000th hit. And it kind of encapsulates his career. His ability to hit all different kinds of pitches in all different kind of locations. His ability to use the whole field, hit the ball away to right field. And then his 3,000th hit, a good pitch on the inside part of the plate. He rips it down the left field line. And that's pretty much what you've seen with Adrian his whole career, what we'll probably see again tonight.
Yeah, another thing we'll see tonight, too, is a rematch with his old buddy, Felix Hernandez. These two have faced each other a lot. They're great friends. And, of course, they're both superstars of the game. They love playing against one another.
They love playing against each other, and we see Felix Hernandez sometimes 6 times a season, so no other team has seen him more than the Rangers have seen Felix Hernandez. Now, you can go back and look at his career ranks, where he is, 162 wins, he's 6th. Those ranks are nice. They'd be a lot higher if he'd played on a terrific team his whole career. Go back to vintage Felix, 2007, 2008. He threw a little bit harder. His breaking ball might have been a little bit sharper. Even though he's not quite the same pitcher today that he was back then, he still knows how to pitch. He was a power pitcher back then with finesse, a little more on the finesse side now. In fact, when you look at these numbers, 2000, 2008, his fastball reached almost 97 miles an hour, and he used it over 60% of the time. Last couple of years, fastball not quite the same, 90, 91, only uses it 45%. He goes to his curveball and his changeup a little bit more now, but he still knows how to pitch.
Yeah, 55 times the Rangers have had the chance to see him. They'll get another chance once again here tonight. Of course, these two teams, similar in some ways, different in others. We're the leadoff spot. Very different styles. The power of Chu, the speed of Dee Gordon. And we put him in the spotlight when we come back.
on the season. Not what you expect from a leadoff hitter. Dee Gordon, on the other hand, I think he's one of the more exciting players in the game. He's already 8 for 8 stealing bases. Scored way over 100 runs last year. One of the fastest runners in baseball. Very difficult to throw out. Obviously, one of the keys when you play the Mariners, keep their leadoff hitter Dee Gordon off base so he can't ignite a rally.
Cool, too, the way he has switched positions this year, moving out to center field, and he has adapted to that so far very well. When we talk about leadoff hitters, there's a lot of interest lately, especially with Delano DeShields getting started in his rehab. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, you know, Delano DeShields has said from the moment he was injured he was going to beat the timetable that was given for his return. It was 4 to 6 weeks. We're coming up on 3 weeks, and last night Delano DeShields began his rehab assignment in Frisco, taking it all in for the AA fans. Delano was before the game, and you know, when they talked about his ability to serve in that leadoff spot, this is why. Got that infield hit on the bunt, legged it out. The wheels obviously not affected by the injury. And so Delano DeShields will likely be back in that lineup spot, hopefully, if everything goes well, by Sunday when this team closes out this 3-game series against the Mariners. And you look at what Delano was able to do in the spring in that leadoff spot, really harnessed that center field position, took it on as his own, and then that leadoff spot was his too. So very disappointing for him to go down so early in the season, but as I mentioned a little bit earlier, very determined to get back out on this field before the timetable suggested, and it looks as if he will do that. Other good news from the injury front, Jurickson Profar has cleared the MLB concussion protocol and will be in the lineup tonight. So slowly but surely, the injured Rangers making their way back to the field.
And that couple right there still on their comeback trail, and Elvis Andrus and Rougned Odor. Both of them in high spirits today before the ball game, but some good news trickling in for this club. Let's take a look at this Mariners starting lineup. They are 9-8 coming in, and there's the speedy Dee Gordon, their center fielder, starting it off. Gene Segura, Robinson Cano, and Nelson Cruz. Really a lot of great bats at the top of the order. Kyle Seager at third base bats fifth, then it's Haniger, Zunino, Vogelback, and Guillermo Heredia.
And for the Rangers, it'll be Mike Minor, and we'll take a look at his arsenal. He throws the fastball a little less than half the time. Got a very good slider, and he likes to throw it 26% of the time. Mixes in a changeup frequently and also a curveball. So he is truly a pitcher who uses all 4 of his pitches. Very tough to single on one single pitch. Our Chicken Express brings the Ranger defense today. It's Joey Gallo will play left field, Drew Robinson in center, Nomar Mazara in right, and in the infield, back at shortstop after a stint on the concussion protocol is Jurickson Profar. Adrian's at third, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is at second, Ronald Guzman is at first, and Robinson Chirinos will be behind the plate today, catching Mike Minor.
All right, so just about set to go tonight. Interesting, you mentioned Chirinos doing the catching today from Mike Minor. Juan Centeno had caught the last 2 Minor starts, so once again Chirinos will have those duties, and this is the 4th start of the year for Minor, a 1-1 record, a .460 earned run average. So the lefty is set. Dee Gordon steps in. The average just a smidge under 300, and we are underway with strike 1. Gordon, not a guy who's going to wait around long in that batter's box. He likes to get things going in a hurry. And he's in a hole here, 0-2.
A good fastball right there by Mike Minor. Just threw that one right by him. All Gordon could do at that pitch was wave at it.
0-2 pitch. Just a little wide.
See a good velocity right off the bat for Mike at 95 miles an hour.
Another one shooting for that outside corner. I mentioned that Gordon likes to get things going averaging 3.32 pitches per plate appearance. Fewest among all leadoff hitters in baseball. This definitely, I mean, this is a long at bat. He's seen almost 2 at bats worth of pitches already. Full count. Definitely a guy the Rangers want to focus on keeping off the bases. The payoff, and Gordon sends this one out to right center, so he is aboard, and with his speed he'll try for 2. Robinson hustles it back, but Gordon with an easy leadoff double.
Minor got ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, then throws a couple of fastballs away that Gordon took. 3-2. The last thing you want to do is walk a base stealer. And Mike comes in with a fastball up and on the inside part of the plate, and Gordon delivered that line drive to right center field. And if Drew Robinson doesn't come up with that cleanly, if he bobbles it a little bit, Gordon probably would have kept right on going. Had 9 triples last year.
So now he's at second for Gene Segura. Segura at 282. Good numbers in his career against the Rangers. One ball and 1 strike. Now Segura last year mid-season signed a 5-year extension with the Mariners. Now, injuries did limit him a little bit last season. 125 games played. Miner giving a good look back there to Gordon.
Gordon last year stole 60 bases, and already he's 8 for 8 this year.
Long strike.
Boy, put a charge in that one. That one got out of here in a hurry and went quite a ways down the line. Segura's a solid top of the order offensive guy. Go back to 2016 with Arizona. Hit 320, hit 20 home runs, 40 doubles, scored 100, stole 30 bases. All around good player.
1-2. That one bounces up there.
You have to think, if everybody stays healthy in this lineup, that with Gordon and Segura at the top of the lineup, Cano, Cruz, Seager hitting 3rd, 4th, and 5th, those guys are going to have a lot of men on base and a lot of chances to drive in runs, because in addition to being on base, both Gordon and Segura can really run. Score from first on almost every double, score from second on almost every single. Nice guys to have on base ahead of the middle of the order.
Bouncer left side, and that one is through. Gordon will be stopped at 3rd base. So Segura with a base hit, and even with Gordon's speed, can't get him home. Scott Brocious threw up the stop sign over there at 3rd.
Yeah, I think under different circumstances, Gordon might have been waved home and maybe could have scored, but right now with nobody out and with Cano coming up next, there's no sense taking any chances. I think that's the situation as much as anything, holding him at 3rd base. And Joey Gallo does have an excellent arm out in left field as well.
Yeah, well played. I mean, able to get to it quickly, and you're right. I mean, a guy who throws better than 100 out there in the left. Now the first pitch to Cano right in there for a strike. Our TXU Energy power player to watch, Robinson Cano. 302 home runs out of that second base position. Only Jeff Kent is hit more home runs as a second baseman. 1-1 the count. I mean, think how long Rogers Hornsby held that mark. You know, I think Kent went blasting past him in those glory years with the Dodgers and the Giants. And now here's Robinson Cano. Game has changed a little bit. Comebacker, and that one smothered by Profar. Good flip, and Kiner Falefa can't quite get it the first in time. Wow, what an effort. But Cano just beat it out, and Seattle gets the first run of the night.
Yeah, watching the highlights last night, watching the Angels and the Red Sox, Andrelton Simmons and Ian Kinsler turned a double play almost identical to this. A smash up the middle, a dive, a flip, Simmons out of his glove, Profar with his hand, and they were able to turn it last night and almost turned it today. Boy, that's about as big a stretch as you'll ever see at first base. Ronald Guzman reaching out, caught it on a hop and kept his foot on the base. That was almost a beautiful double play.
Instead, Cano picks up the RBI, and now Nelson Cruz, and he takes a little bit low. Cruz not off to a real good start in terms of average. Still hitting some home runs, and the counting stats for him, if you will, maybe a little low because he's already spent some time on the disabled list. Kind of a weird accident coming down into the dugout, twisted his ankle, and was placed on the 10-day disabled list on April 3rd. Just recently activated. 1-1. That's strike two.
Good off-speed pitches, had Cruz out in front of him. Probably off to a little bit of a slow start with that injury. He's one of those guys, when he heats up, throw him a strike and he's going to put a charge in it, carry the team in the middle of the lineup. Just hope when you play him, he's not hot.
Blocked by Chirinos. It's funny. I mean, you were talking about Segura, Cano, Cruz, Kyle Seager, very good hitter. This is an interesting lineup, and you would think that this Mariners team positioned to put up some pretty good numbers this year. But they are currently in the midst of a real odd stretch that offense has not produced. Fly ball out there to center field, and a diving stop by Drew Robinson. What a grab.
Well, the Rangers are putting on a defensive show here in the first inning. Beautiful play by Jurickson Profar to take a base hit away from Cano, and a beautiful diving play. You can watch this all night long on the highlight reel. Drew Robinson lays out and makes a beautiful catch. You know, a lot of times a guy will catch a ball while he dives in the middle of the dive. When you catch one at the end of the dive, you needed every inch of that dive to make the play. Those are truly the diving gems right there. They're nice when you dive and catch it anyway, but when you catch it right after you dove and you're halfway through your dive, that's one thing. But when you're about a foot from the ground, all out, right before you hit the ground, that's extension. That's a beautiful play. Looked like off the bat it was hit a little bit harder than that. It was fading away from Drew, but he ran it down.
Drew just played the last 2 games at second base. Prior to that at shortstop. Now makes that play out in center field.
Yeah.
It has been a lot of fun to watch these guys move all over the diamond and turn in the good defensive plays.
That ability to be versatile and to have speed to play center field, the quickness to play shortstop when you need to.
Kiner Falefa,
same thing. That kind of versatility, that can find you a spot in the big leagues for a long time.
Swing and a miss, and Seager goes down quietly to win the first. So Minor touched for a run, but works his way out of trouble, and now the Rangers coming to bat. And now see what the Rangers can do. 7-13, and they'll start it off with Shin-Soo Choo as the DH. Jurickson Profar at short, Mazzara in right field, Adrian Beltre at third. Then it's Gallo, Guzman, and Robinson Chirinos. Drew Robinson in center, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the second baseman, rounds it out. And there is Felix Hernandez, his 5th start of the year. 2-2, 548 earned run average. And the all-star pitcher delivers strike one.
Take a look at the pitches that King Felix likes to throw. Fastball usage is down below 50% now. It used to be in the old days over 60%. Throws a lot of curveballs and a lot of changeups. And even with the velocity down 4 or 5 miles an hour, his changeup is still a very difficult pitch for a batter to contend with. Now, even though he doesn't throw the 96, 97 anymore, he's always known how to pitch. Even as a youngster, when he was dominating, he still had the qualities of a finesse pitcher. The pitches he could throw, the command that he had. So now that the velocity has dropped, he depends on guile, depends on location a little bit more, and the usage of his off-speed pitches.
Choo shoots this one foul. 1-2. Eric Cooper, our plate umpire, sending a ball back to the mound. Gary Cederstrom, our crew chief at first. There's Eric Cooper. One-two from Hernandez. This ball hit high in the air out to right field. Haniger looking up into that corner, and he makes the catch. Wow. That might have been knocked down.
Yeah, because you're right, Dave. When you hit one that high, the wind, which is blowing in from right center field, I think can affect it. It looked like it held it up and pushed it to the right. Haniger had to contend with that wall. Great concentration. Look at his eyes. Knows he's going to hit the wall. Made a nice play. I think it definitely knocked that down on a day when maybe the wind's not blowing like that. It probably at least catches the wedgie out there. Choo made a bid for his 6th home run.
Well, Profar takes a strike. The winds today at 14 miles per hour. At least that's the report at game time. I'm sure there are areas around here where it's blowing harder than that. 0-2 to Profar. And it was 69 degrees at game time, so it had cooled down a little bit this afternoon. Kind of jacket weather out of the ballpark.
I used to make fun of my parents when I used to go back home to Massachusetts, and it'd be in the middle of the winter time, and the house would be about 78 or 80 degrees, and they'd be cold.
Yeah.
Now that I've advanced in years, I know exactly how they felt.
Yep.
Went to a Little League game the other night. It was about 65 degrees out. My wife and I had winter jackets and a blanket around our legs. So I'll never make fun of anybody that's cold anymore.
I'm with you on that. It'll be warm here soon enough. The 2-2. And it's a full count.
And at the same Little League game, you watch the kids that are at the game, and they've got shorts and a T-shirt on.
For the life of me, my kids. I mean, the winter, it was cold this winter.
Yeah.
And they want to wear the shorts every day. I mean, what are you doing? It doesn't even make sense. 3-2. And Profar strikes out swinging, 2 away.
Yeah, it's always the old people telling the young people to wear more clothes, and the young people saying, I'm not cold. Now, this is a good example of what we're talking about with Felix. Doesn't have the 96-mile-an-hour fastball, but that changeup was devastating when he threw 96, and it's still a very good pitch for him. The change in speeds, which with Felix isn't quite as large a difference between the fastball and the changeup as some other pitchers. A lot of pitchers, it's 8 to 11 miles per hour. With Felix, sometimes it's only 2 or 3, 4 miles an hour. But he's got the great delivery with it. Can't tell whether it's a changeup or a fastball with his delivery. It sinks, it drops. It's still a great pitch for him, even without that great velocity.
1-1 to Nomar Mazara. Average at 300 coming into play tonight. Couple of home runs. And Hernandez not messing around, gets that ball back, and he's pretty much ready to go. Usually waiting for the hitter to get back in. And this time he might take a moment. Mazara had 6 hits on the road trip, including a home run. And he hits this ball hard out towards second base, and a smother of that ball by Cano results in the final out of the inning. So Hernandez with a 1-2-3, bottom of the first. We'll go to the second inning. For the Mariners against Mike Minor. Haniger, the 6th place hitter, and he takes strike 1. So Seattle got the first run of the game. See, Haniger has done a good job driving in runs here in the early part of the season. And hits this ball hard. That's a fair ball down the third baseline.
Oh, never mind.
And then Haniger will cruise to second and slide in there with a double. Again, we see the danger of Joey Gallo's arm in left field as he hustled that back into second and had that a little closer play than I think Haniger had anticipated.
Yeah, until you've had a chance to see Joey Gallo's all-around game, you might think as a big, strong power hitter, number one, that he doesn't run as well as he does. If you haven't seen him throw, you have no idea the kind of arm he has. And that's led him to have the versatility to play third base, left field, easily play right field, and also first base. He's an athlete.
Zunino swings and misses at first offering tonight. Zunino just activated off the disabled list. His first at bat of the season, and now a pickoff play to third, and they get Haniger. Well, he just got a little froggy there and took off too soon.
Well, that's a nice way to erase a leadoff double. You know, they say in baseball, don't make the first out or the third out at third base. I think he thought he could go into third base standing up, and he probably could have if Mike didn't see him. And the Rangers will gladly accept. Good job by Mike, being aware someone probably yelled to him. Great way to get your first out.
We're now 1-2 on Zunino.
Adrian's yelling. Adrian sees him taking off. Gets over there. Accurate throw.
2-2. Now that's a caught stealing. Rangers catchers, I don't believe, have a caught stealing to their credit yet this year. We don't really get credit for that one, right? 2-2. Strike 3 called, and Zunino down looking, 2 away. Boy, what a quick turn of events here in the second.
It really is. And Mike takes a little bit off. Looked like a changeup, cut fastball maybe. Yep, cutter right on the outside corner. Very tough pitch for a hitter. You look at that pitch, most of the way it's outside, and then it just cuts enough to catch the outside corner. To be able to stay with that pitch, take a good swing at it, it's very difficult.
It's now Vogelbach, and he will take strike 1.
That's one of those plays. If you're on second base with nobody out, you better make sure that you can steal standing up. That's not where you want to be thrown out. I'm sure that Haniger thought he could. He just left too soon.
0-2 on the sturdy first baseman. Vogelbach, a longtime Cub, came up to the Cubs system. And he swings and misses strike 3. A 10-pitch second inning for Mike Minor. And he's got 3 strikeouts on the night. After got that pickoff, punched out Zunino, comes back and gets Vogelbach. And we played 1.5. Entertaining. Here we go.
You know, we've shown the highlights of Hernandez back in 2007, 2008, and currently the changes that he's made. The velocity's gone down, and Adrian's pretty much lived through it himself. He's faced him probably as much as he's faced any other pitcher.
Old teammates in Seattle. So they got acquainted. And of course, have seen a lot of one another since then. You were calling the game where Beltre got ejected, right?
Yeah.
After this playful exchange that they like to have with one another. 2-1. Was that any more or less outrageous than the ejection when he pulled the on-deck circle down?
No, the on-deck circle is the all-timer for me. It's hard. It would be hard for me to eject a player if I was laughing. Well, I guess the umpire wasn't laughing.
Yeah, clearly not in on the fun. A 5-3 put out, and so Hernandez gets the better of him this time.
One thing about Hernandez in this battle between the two of them, even though he's not throwing 96 or 97, he's still just as cocky and just as sure that he's going to get Adrian out as he was when he was throwing 97 miles an hour. He hasn't backed off a bit. Whatever fastball he throws, if it's 91, that's all he's got, because he's throwing it as hard as he can. So he got the better of that one. See what happens the rest of the game.
Oh, breaking ball jumps away from Zunino. Ball 1 on Joey Gallo, the home run leader in the American League. Of course, shares that honor at the moment with a handful of guys. 1-0 pitch. Gallo also with a 14 RBIs. Had 3 home runs on that road trip. And he hits this one down the left side, slicing out of play. Now, we have seen teams employ the dramatic shift against Joey Gallo. The Astros, at times, the most absurd shifts. This is a pretty dramatic one here by the Mariners.
That's about as deep as I've seen a center fielder play, unless it's no doubles and you're playing late in the ball game and you don't want the batter to get to second base, so you play deep to keep him from getting a double. That's pretty much the position that Dee Gordon's in right now in right center field.
Scott Service, 3rd year as a manager of the Mariners, and apparently playing the percentages. He is, Cano is about as deep a second baseman as you'll see on these types of shifts too, and awfully close to the line.
Yeah. It'll be pretty hard to drive a ground ball through the infield on the right side that gets to Mitch Haniger in right field.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Gallo strikes out, 2nd strikeout victim tonight for Hernandez.
Another good example of the off-speed, the quality of the off-speed pitches that Hernandez still has.
Here's Ronald Guzman. 5 hits on that road trip. Really stood out in those games in Houston. Big home run, had 4 RBIs. And he takes strike 1.
Well, Hernandez in his career is 45 games or so over 500. It'd be a lot more than that if he was playing for a perennial contender. And his career ERA is 3.22.
Guzman rolls it down to first. Vogelbach bobbles it, but recovers in time, and they take care of Guzman to complete a 1-2-3. 3rd inning, Mariners lead 1-0.
A progressive fan of the game, and I have established very early on this season that I can be, flattery will get you everywhere, and I'm a very simple girl. I like a good sign. So Allison here, she incorporated both, and therefore she is definitely my fan of the game. Allison, how long have you been over here visiting?
Not very long, a couple of weeks, I think, yeah.
And how did you pick Texas for your team to root for from Australia?
My in-laws are from Texas.
Obviously very smart.
Yes, of course.
Congratulations. Good A.
Good day.
There we go. Good A, mate.
That's it, Emily. Way to go.
I mean, might as well, right?
I hope Noxie's watching.
I hope he is too.
That's beautiful. And a good choice. And an easy choice. Put Emily's name on a sign. That's a winner. Heredia takes low and in. Uh-oh. He says, that got me. Now, he might be the only one who feels that way. I didn't see any indication from Eric Cooper, did you? He sold it.
I didn't see the umpire say anything either.
I mean, if that got him, it barely got him. I hope that shoelace is okay.
I tell you one thing, if that hurt enough to do that, he's got the ultimate low pain tolerance. Oh man,
that is some salesmanship. And now,
you know, I'd tell him, you want to get on base that bad, go ahead.
That is interesting. You know, the old back foot slider right there, and
it's an Academy Award for that show.
Now, who's challenging this? Is this?
I guess he's on first base. Did he just go there because he thinks he's going to end up there? I don't know. I did not see the umpire say it hit you.
Well, I didn't notice.
Maybe Seattle's challenging it, and he's just sure that he's going to get the call, so he's going to first base.
Because I did not see Jeff Bannister come out to challenge that. That didn't hit him.
I don't think it hit him. They do though.
Well, they're giving him first base. It might have been a little skip off the shoe there.
He's smiling. I'll bet you $1,000 he doesn't put an ice pack on that.
All right, our Ford challenge call on the field, apparently not hit by pitch, and it was overturned. So Heredia is on.
They got better eyes than I do.
Goodness. That was conclusive? I don't know. Hey, you want to get hit by a pitch, here it comes. That one in tight on Gordon for ball one.
Yeah, Gordon's one of those guys with his speed. He's like Delino. I liked what Delino said this morning in the newspaper. He said, I'm going to bunt, and I don't care if they know it. If guys with that speed lay down a great bunt, even if you know it's coming, you can't throw him out at first base. Gordon's one of those guys.
Shoots this one foul in the count 1-1.
Also handles the bat well, so that if Adrian plays Wayne at third, he tries to do what he just did. Tries to slap a line drive or a ground ball by the third baseman. Play back a little bit, he'll bunt. Come way in, trying to slap it by you.
One pitch, and there is the bunt. Right back to Minor. He bare hands or tries to, but has no play. Right to your point.
That play is completely a function of speed. An easy play that turns into a difficult play when you know you don't have much time to barehand it and throw. Different runner, it's like a routine play. Just come in, catch it, and throw it. But that element of speed makes your heart pound a little bit faster, makes you rush, makes you panic a little bit as you try to grab it with your hand. Leads to an extra base runner.
Well, they're going to score that a sacrifice and an error. And it brings up Segura with 2 men aboard and nobody out. Now, it's interesting that scoring decision there keeps in place an odd little accomplishment that Minor is shooting for today. Whether he actually knows it or not, I can't be certain. But no pitcher has allowed 3 or fewer hits in 3 straight starts in this ballpark. Bouncer to shortstop. They'll go the short way to third, and they force out Heredia for out number 1. Anyway, that's what Minor is endeavoring to do here. If he can keep the Mariners from getting another hit tonight, which is a stiff challenge.
That's the right play there. You know what? No way you're going to turn a double play. You might as well get the lead runner and turn the double play now.
Yeah, Cano, a guy you can coax into the double play. In fact, he just missed hitting into one in the first inning. A really excellent defensive effort by the Rangers, but it just did beat it out. Gordon at second, Segura at first. A little high, 1-1. So it's not just 3 starts to start a season or anything like. It's 3 consecutive starts. Any time of year, any time in your career.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Could be, you know, could be a visitor spread out over years. But no one's ever done it in this ballpark to go 3 consecutive starts of at least 4 innings and allow 3 or fewer in all of them. 2-1. Now he's already given up 3 hits.
Pretty good that someone would even think to wonder who has ever done that before.
That's a good point. Now, with all, you know, listen, all the access to the databases, there is no end to the tricky little notes we get.
A lot of people taking the stats and coming up with things that you would never dream of before, and are very interesting.
2-1. And a swing and a miss. That's this season. You can see Cano. I mean, he's hitting everybody well, but lefties in particular worked out favorably for him.
It's early in the season, but Cano is the kind of left-hand hitter that you wouldn't expect to be dominated by left-handed pitchers like some left-hand hitters are. Too good a hitter.
Well, is there anything about his swing or his style in particular that, you know, that allows him to hit lefties?
I think he's able to wait for the ball to get in on him to the point where he doesn't lunge at the ball. He doesn't pull off the ball. A lot of left-hand hitters pull off the ball from a left-hand pitcher. He uses the whole field and waits on the ball, and very seldom makes contact without hitting on the ball with that.
And that time hits into the double play as ordered by Minor. 4-6-3 to clean up the inning.
Another nice double play. Tough one to turn when Falefa had to go that far to his left, but a good play by him and a strong throw from Jurickson turns that double play. mobile. Take a look at Mookie Betts last night. Hit his 4th home run of that series. The Angels just obliterated the Angels. The Red Sox off to an incredible start. Through 18 games, they've won 16 times. That's the most wins through 18 games since 1987 when the Brewers went 17-1. Their 66-run differential, the 4th highest since 1900. Talk about a team that's hot. And Mookie Betts went into Anaheim, where they possess maybe the best player in baseball in Mike Trout, one of the best players for sure. And he put on a show that pretty much showed it might not be quite there with Mike Trout, but he's right up there with him. What a terrific player.
Chirinos launches this one high in the air out to left field. Heredia, though, is going to have some room.
Yeah, that's chalked that one up to the wind. As high as he hit that ball, that went all the way right in front of the warning track. And that's a strong wind. Now in from right center field. Got under it a little bit. As strong as Robbie is, if he centered it, didn't get underneath it quite as much, he probably still could have driven it out of the ballpark. I think that one would have had a chance on some nights.
So now Drew Robinson, and he takes a strike.
Red Sox outscored the Angels something like 27-3, 29-3. The Angels got 3 runs in that series. It's some kind of lineup the Red Sox are throwing out there right now.
Did you ever play for a team that got off to a start? I mean, obviously not quite to that extent, 16-2, but you know, really wildly hot start.
I was the general manager for a team that came back from the opening road trip of the year for the welcome home luncheon at like 1-9. Oops. That was not a fun dinner. A lot of guys looking for excuses not to go to that luncheon.
Yeah,
but I was never involved with a team that got off to that kind of stuff.
It just looks like so much fun. And everybody has a hot stretch during the course of a summer, right? Everybody gets to enjoy one of those little runs.
Yeah.
But to have it right out of the gate, that's just got to be a hoot.
Yep.
Strike 3 called, and Robinson down looking. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Dana Larson. Thanks, Dana.
Stanton had gone through a stretch where he was striking out a lot. There were swings he was taking. It looked like he was swinging with the lights off in the stadium. In last night's game, he didn't do anything, but he was right on 2 or 3 pitches, just got underneath him. Looked like he was seeing the ball and swinging pretty well, so I'm surprised to hear that he went deep today. It was just a matter of time. Hitters like that go through stretches. When they happen at the beginning of the season, they're magnified because that's all the statistics you have. He's going to do his share of damage this year, just like he always does.
I mean, not surprising too, right? Brand new team, not just any team. You know, he's paired up with Aaron Judge in that lineup. People are expecting them both to hit 1,000,000 home runs.
Yep.
And you want to show him what you can do, and he might have been pressing a little bit.
Sure.
2-2 on Kiner Falefa.
I don't think it matters who you are, what kind of player you are, where you came from. That kind of situation, going to New York for the first time under those circumstances, can make anybody feel the pressure a little bit.
Kiner Falefa feels no pressure. The guy just keeps raking. Base hit to center field, and it's the first of the night for the Rangers. I'm enjoying watching this guy play.
Yeah, he's 6 for his last 10. He got a chance to come up to the big leagues. He's had some chances in spring training. Had a chance to come up to the big leagues, and he's doing his best to make the best out of it. Playing different positions and swinging a good bat. Making solid contact. Nice, short, quick stroke.
Right, now we see Felix Hernandez work from the stretch for the first time today. Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 1. And he shoots it out into left field. Heredia comes on, but he can't get to it. That's a base hit. Back-to-back singles in the third inning.
Yeah, it looked like that's kind of Chu's game plan today. Well, it's one of his game plan a lot. Try to hit the ball back up the middle, take the ball the other way. Hernandez throws more changeups and curveballs now, off-speed pitches. So sometimes you play into his hand if you try to pull the ball. Chu is so good at going the other way. And not just to slap a single to left field, but he can drive the ball 400 feet to left center field as well. Really good power the other way.
So now a couple of base runners for Jurickson Profar. Profar missed the final 2 games in that series in Tampa, and in fact really missed the majority of the opening game in Tampa when he was toppled over trying to turn a double play, hit his head on the turf, and was then placed in a concussion protocol. He was cleared today to play, and he struck out his first time in. And then he takes a strike, 1-1. He had been swinging a pretty good bat prior to that incident on Monday night. He hit safely in 4 of the last 5 games, and to the tune of 6 hits and 17 at bats. A 1-1. That's outside. We were talking about the hot start of the Boston Red Sox earlier in the inning. It's 16-2. Very impressive. And that was the hottest 18-game start since the Brewers of 1987. That team, that Milwaukee team, won 91 games that year, finished 3rd in the American League East. Back to our breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
Tough league back then.
Yeah, Tigers won the division.
Let's take a look and see how close that was. Well, that's a backdoor curveball. Just barely touched the outside corner. Hitter doesn't think that, though.
The 2-2. This is what we saw on Monday. Profar, after that double play, it was odd. He was going so far from second to first and just came down hard on that head.
That was one of the strangest takeout slides. The base runner was just trying to get down and get out of the way, and Jurickson failed to get out of the way and just got knocked over and landed right on his head. Such a strange play.
And he strikes out here, and it ends the threat in the 3rd. Rangers get a couple of base runners, but can do nothing with them. Well, there you see, at home, he leads his team in the major and most important pitching categories. He's pitched very well here. Today, though, trails 1-0. Deals with the heart of the order. Nelson Cruz, a cleanup hitter, takes inside. It's 2-0. Cruz lined out to center field, and that was an awesome play by Drew Robinson, laying out to steal extra bases. 2-1.
You're talking about the start that the Red Sox have had. They're having that start without Dustin Pedroia, without Xander Bogaerts has been hurt too. He's off to an all-star type start to the season.
This ball lined deep down the left field line and into the corner off the base of the fence. And Nelson Cruz hustles to second base. He has a leadoff double.
That was as low a line drive as you'll see go all the way and hit a wall in left field. I don't know what the exit velocity was, but it had to be approaching 115 the way he hit that thing. How much wasted movement in his swing. Pretty good chance that Nelly, with a leadoff double, is not going to get thrown out attempting to steal third base like Haniger did. So Mike's going to have to work out of this jam on his own.
Now, the Mariners have had the leadoff man on in all 4 innings so far. Here's Seager, struck out in the first inning.
Yeah, Mike made him look bad striking out in the first inning. Waved at a breaking ball right there. Not used to seeing Seager swing like that against the Rangers. Guy that's hit well over 300 in this ballpark.
Boy, Tom, you are amazing, man. One strike pitch. This one popped foul and up into the seats. I mean, it's your first game back. We're in the 4th inning, and the first guess you took on an exit velocity, what'd you say, 115 miles per hour? 114. 114.
Wow. That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
See, the key to those is when you come really close like that, we mention it. When you miss by 6 or 7, you just kind of let it go. Don't say anything. And nobody knows.
2-strike pitch, and that one fouled off.
But that ball really was a low line drive. I guess we could probably come up with a launch angle, but the launch angle wasn't high enough for it to go out of the ballpark. Here's what it looks like. Look how low that line drive is. Generally, that kind of a line drive would hit 20 feet, 30 feet in front of the wall, but Nelly has the strength and at 115 miles an hour carried all the way to the wall.
Another foul ball by Seager to keep the at-bat going. Oh, look at that. Now the reason you see that number right there, a 403 average with runners in scoring position in this ballpark, that's second best, is because all of his numbers in this ballpark are really good. Seager, for whatever reason, just feels very comfortable in that batter's box. And he takes strike 3. Second time tonight that Minor has struck him out.
He didn't like the call, but that looked like a pretty good pitch. That looked like a breaking ball that was inside most of the way and then caught the inside part of the plate. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's a good pitch. Good pitcher's pitch. Not one that just barely touched the strike zone, but one that's all the way in it. Remember, it's not where the catcher catches it, it's where it goes by home plate. And it was going down high enough when it went by the plate, and it definitely caught the plate. Not just a very good pitch by Mike Minor.
And then Haniger came up hacking at that off-speed offering right there. Haniger doubled in the second.
Haniger had a good year for Seattle last year. He had over 280, 16 home runs, almost 50 runs batted in less than 100 games. He was injured. And if you look at the trade that brought him over here, it was one of those trades that was a solid trade for both teams. He came over with Gene Segura. And you get a regular right fielder and a regular shortstop. And they traded Taijuan Walker, a very promising young starting pitcher. I think he's hurt right now. And Ketel Marte, who starts at second base for the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks wanted a young pitcher. Mariners went for 2 position players, and they both got 2 good players in that trade that can help the big league team.
Well, there you see a little bit of his travels over the years, and he finished really strong last year. 7 of his 16 home runs came in September. Well over 360 in the month of September. 2-1, and he swings and misses. A good young player. They got a couple of good corner outfielders making debuts last year. Haniger, Ben Gamel, guys who stepped in and did a very admirable job.
Hey, look at the players the Mariners have been acquiring. Gordon, Segura, Haniger. A lot of solid position players, which gives them a very promising offense. They should score a lot of runs. But then you look at their starting rotation and you just wonder if there's enough quality and depth to really be a serious contender in September. A lot of question marks in the rotation. Can Hernandez stay healthy? Paxton has to stay healthy. So they've added offense, added position players, but really haven't solidified their rotation with any acquisitions. I guess Mike Leake was a solid acquisition, but on paper, it looks like they might need a little more than that.
Well, ironically, and I'm with you. I mean, this offense should be good, but you look at this. They're on a tough little run right now. 2 or fewer runs in 5 consecutive games. It's the longest current streak in the big leagues this year. In fact, it's the longest streak of the entire season so far.
Yeah, one of the reasons for that is they played the Astros. They saw the Astros starters 4 times, and the way they're pitching right now, it's tough to score more than 2 runs against the Astros. I think they missed Verlander, but Charlie Morton leads the league in ERA. I think 3 of the Astros starters are in the top 4 or 5 in ERA in the American League. And they're going to Cleveland. They're going to see Corey Kluber. So they've had some tough assignments, tough matchups early in the year.
This the very beginning of a 10-day road trip, a 10-game trip for this Seattle team. And as you mentioned, Cleveland, I mean, the way the weather is playing right now all over the United States, all over Major League Baseball, that has potential to be a little chilly.
I love what you pointed out to me before the game started. We were talking about the Rangers have played 20 games and how many rain postponements there's been, and you mentioned Minnesota. Minnesota is 8-5. They've only played 13 games.
Oh, a strikeout of Zunino on a check swing, or near check swing.
So on April 20th, the Rangers played 7 more games than the Twins. Well, that's a good slider. Tough to hold up on, and he didn't hold up on it. He went second time. Zunino.
Minor getting some strikeouts when he has needed them. The guy he got earlier at the plate now, Daniel Vogelbach, struck him out swinging in the second. And he was off on that one.
I think by the way this game started, Daniel's going to have to hit that breaking ball. He's going to see a lot of them. Going to have to wait on it a little bit. He'll hit the fastball if he sees one, but might have a trouble unless he makes an adjustment on that breaking ball.
One and one the count. Yeah, so the Rangers 7-13 coming into play today. Twins have played a total of 13.
Well, it's a good season. It's a good thing the season started early and there's 4 extra off days. Unfortunately for the Twins, most of those off days are going to be makeup days probably. Either that or they're going to play a lot of doubleheaders.
1-2 on Vogelbach.
Vogelbach's trying to step out and regroup. he knows what's happening. He's got to figure out a way to stop it right now.
Cruz at second, Haniger at first for the Mariners. They lead 1-0. Minor trying to get out of trouble again. The 1-2. Just a little outside. Vogelbach, 8th place hitter. And he bounces this one to the first base side. Good stab by Guzman, who throws back to Minor, covering the base. Inning over.
Been some talk about the Ranger defense, but it's not apparent today. They're playing some solid defense. Ronald Guzman, for the second time, showing his range and long arms, and it's a beautiful play to end the inning.
.05 game. First 15,000 fans, 14 and older, going to get a Rangers pullover, courtesy of Globe Life. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. All right, Mazzara, Beltre, and Gallo in this 4th inning. So the 3, 4, and 5 hitters against Felix Hernandez. Second time through the order. And Hernandez, the first time through, he threw a first pitch strike to 8 of the 9 Rangers he faced. But he goes 2-0 on Mazzara. In Nomar's young career, he does have a home run off Hernandez. And it's now 3 balls, no strikes. Fourth 3-ball count today for Felix Hernandez. And boy, he just missed everything. So a 4-pitch walk. And the Rangers have a leadoff runner on here with a 4th inning. How about a quick word from our friends at Southwest Kia?
$250 down, $250 a month or less on select new Kias in stock only at southwestkia.com.
All right, Beltre and Hernandez again. Last time it was Hernandez with the upper hand. Got a ground out. Good breaking ball in there for a strike. Adrian, 13 hits in his career off Felix Hernandez. 13 for 56. More walks than strikeouts, though. One and one. Now, a lot obviously broken down between these two guys. Everybody loves to see this matchup, and you can look at all the numbers you want. How about this? This was the most amazing little tidbit or number that I found in the battle between these two guys. 2-1. Uh-oh.
That's just part of the fun right there. That was an off-speed pitch.
All right, since the start of 2015, Tom, these guys, Felix has thrown 121 pitches to Adrian. Adrian swung and missed once.
Wow.
Bouncer third, that could be trouble. To second one, and the turn by Cano for the double play. 5-4-3.
I'd like to know if you've ever seen a guy turn a double play more confidently and calmly than Cano just turned that double play. It looked like it was infield practice. Watch how smooth and relaxed he is. He still fires it over there. It's a fun guy to watch play.
Now Gallo, and he's looking to bunt against this shift. I mean, there's not a soul on the left side of the infield. Not even close. And we have seen Gallo go the other way with it, with his swing. We have seen him show bunt a handful of times. He's yet to put one down. Let's see if he tries again.
I just think there's an opportunity if he bunts it the right way, maybe not just a bunt, but kind of a slap bunt, and he gets it right down the left field line and it fades toward the tarp. There's no way that the left fielder can get to it before he gets to second base.
Yeah, you see the left fielder Guillermo Heredia just disappeared out of your picture. It's all yours, Joey. Now, of course, when you talk about shifts, you talk about Ted Williams. You played for Ted Williams. Did you ever have a chance to talk to him about the shifts and the mentality and any of that?
No.
From his perspective?
No, I don't remember ever having a conversation with him about that. I've read a little bit about it, and I think he was the kind of hitter that never gave into the shift. And even though they were playing on the right side, he hit the ball so hard he took his chances.
3-2. And there's ball 4. In fact, that one gets away. Gallo will take his walk, second walk of the inning.
The shift kept his lifetime batting average at about 344. I guess without the shift, it would have been maybe 370 or 375.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. And you know, there are a lot of historians have gone back and tried to, you know, run the numbers and see if they could figure out what it did cost him. And there's no question that it cost him hits.
Did anyone ever try to come up with a number?
Oh, I'm sure there have been, you know, a number of scholarly efforts at that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but it's as we all know, it's impossible to say exactly.
Well, I have to think, as great a hitter as he was, that if he made the decision, I'm going to hit the ball to left field, he could and would have done it.
Well, comebacker. And Hernandez gets Guzman to end the inning. Rangers leave a man. We've played 4 so far tonight. It's 1-0. Concert presented by Budweiser. 7:05 game tomorrow night, Mariners and Rangers. Concert after the game. Go to TexasRangers.com/concerts for tickets and for information on field passes. Should be a great show tomorrow night. Some good baseball. I think we got Bartolo Colon pitching tomorrow. A festive night at the ballpark. Heredia leading off this 5th inning. 9th place hitter. He was hit by a pitch, or shoelace was anyway, in the 3rd inning, and then we're back to the top of the order. It's this ball deep and foul to the right side. Oh, 2. Yeah, that one just a little bit up and out. Well, Mike Minor making his 4th start of the season tonight. His 3rd here at home. 30 years old, and the lefty's 1-2. When you look at Minor's overall numbers so far this season, the very low batting average against and decent strikeout numbers. The other thing you have to keep in mind, 2 of his previous 3 starts have been against the defending world champion Astros. 2-2. And the season numbers are good, and then when you take into consideration who he's been throwing against, really good.
Yeah, take away the 4th inning of his last start, and they're even better.
Full count now on Heredia. But he was pretty impressive in spring training. Shown us certainly flashes of a lot of really good stuff here in the early part of this year. Signed a 3-year deal with the Rangers in early December. And making that move back to a starter after some good success in the bullpen.
It was a terrific year he had last year for Kansas City. 88 strikeouts in 77 innings, only 57 hits. But he's not a guy that was a reliever his whole career and then decided he wanted to be a starter this year. He had a pretty good track record a number of years ago with Atlanta as a starter.
Heredia takes a big rip here, but got underneath it. Handled by Gallo, 1 away. Well, our Ford probables tomorrow, I mentioned. But the big sexy back out there again, his 3rd start tomorrow, and his first 2 starts have been outstanding. James Paxton, meanwhile, when he is healthy, is as tough a pitcher as there is. The difficulty for him has been to stay healthy for a full season. Now Dee Gordon. You saw the game on Sunday, right? Bartolo, that was something
tremendous.
Else.
You just hear so many times pitching coaches say throw strike 1. They talk about location, they talk about movement. Nowadays it seems like velocity is the #1 thing when you go to scout a pitcher and determine how good that pitcher can be. Well, how hard does he throw? Bartolo showed with an 89 to 91 mile-an-hour fastball with precision command and that unusual movement that he has on his 2-seam fastball, what you can do to hitters. We were showing that pitch that starts a little bit outside and comes back and catches the plate from a right-hand pitcher that tails back and catches the plate. It's very difficult. Most times when a pitcher does it, it does it a couple inches. Malone's almost looks like a left-handed slider. It moves so much.
A perfect game into the 8th inning on Sunday. That was a beauty. The 1-2. Bouncer right side. Guzman wants it, and he gets there. Ahead of Dee Gordon. No small accomplishment. Gordon's so fast. You can see Guzman picking up on that quickly and had to make a decision, a split-second decision to take it himself.
Felix made some nice plays around the bag today. That huge stretch And the ball he picked on a hop. And getting there to get the bag, and also watch him bring his foot back to get it out of the way of Gordon's spike as he comes down. Another nice play.
Segura, and he takes strike one. One and one to count on Segura. And there's a picture of Guzman. Goes back with the story we were talking about the other day. This one fouled away the count 1 and 2. It goes to his nickname, the Condor.
Well, we've seen the Condor in action today a couple of times. Not that play, but the one that he stretched and picked the ball, the one that he dove and made a nice play at first base. Even that reach that he has to make a couple of really nice plays today. Here's the stretch on the double play attempt. How many first basemen can go out and pick that ball and keep your foot on the bag anyway? Oh, look at the Rangers. Several of their players: Mazzara, Guzman, Gallo, 6'4", 6'5", 200 and whatever, 40, 250 pounds. That's some big young guys.
Well, it either looks like a group of elite tight ends from the NFL or power forwards from the NBA. I mean, yeah. It's quite a sight when you're in a hotel and you see them, you know, walking among the regular civilians like us. You know, we see them always together as a team, and you take for granted how huge they are. As Segura shoots one out to left center, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the 5th for Mike Minor. It's a 1-run game to the bottom of the 5th.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ready.
Today. One nothing to the bottom of the 5th inning. So both starters have managed this game pretty well so far, and they've dealt with a little bit of traffic here and there. Mike Minor has had to contend with a lot of base runners. Got some big strikeouts. Hernandez was very sharp early, and now misses with ball 1 to Robinson Chirinos. Rangers, it might be a little bit of a stretch to say that they've threatened Hernandez too much so far here tonight. A couple of base runners the last few innings. 2-0. Chirinos 0 for 1. Rangers with just 2 hits and 2 walks so far. So Hernandez has been about as sharp as the Mariners have seen him this year. Longest start of the year so far, his last outing, that was against Oakland. Give up a couple of runs on 5 hits and 6 1/3. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Chirinos. 1 away in the 5th inning. All right, let's take a Chevy game break. Check in again with Dana Larson. Yeah,
wow.
Thanks, Dana.
That's a stat I wouldn't have known, Dana.
Vogel back to Hernandez, and a 1 pitch. They take care of Drew Robinson.
The second baseman, Isaiah Kiner.
Here comes Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. For a little more on him, let's check in again with Emily Jones.
Yeah, I've talked to Isaiah before today's game about the whirlwind that he's been on. He said yesterday he was grateful for the off day to kind of take a moment, catch his breath, and he said one thing he wanted to do was take some champagne up to Frisco, give it to the coaches, the staff that had helped him get to this place. That's where he spent the last couple of seasons. Thought that was a really cool gesture for Isaiah to do on his first off day of his major league career.
That must have been a fun day for him to be able to do that. Go up and see the guys, especially as well as he's doing. Coming off a 4-hit game. 6 for his last 10.
1-1 the count on Falefa.
Hernandez is old.
I've done that twice by. I'm sorry, Tom, but that's twice now. I've tried to rename him Falefa. I did it on the road trip.
I heard one of the national announcers call him Falefa, so.
Well, you know, happens, right? The Kiner-Falefa.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. We're talking about Hernandez, only 32 years old, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. This is already his 13th season. He was in the big leagues when he was 19. And you go back to those early years, there was a lot of years where he was throwing way over 200 innings, sometimes as many as 230, 240 innings. So he's packed a lot of pitching into 13 years. And even though he's only 32, you can tell that the wear and tear has affected his velocity. Get down.
Kiner-Falefa to center field, and Dee Gordon, the converted second baseman,
he's having fun
his
out there.
stuff. Yeah, he looks like he's adapted well to his new spot. We go to the 6th.
highlight the defense. Nice fielder's choice. Beautiful play by Jurickson. Almost turned a double play. Drew Robinson takes a base hit away from Nelly Cruz with a superb diving catch. Mike Minor appreciates it. Mitch Haniger unexpectedly, with nobody out, tries to steal third base. Mike Minor caught him. Falefa to Profar. Turn a beautiful double play and a ball hit to the left. And we're back in action now. Nice defense in tonight's ball game. A well-played 1-0 game so far.
With some opportunities, but well, you see the impact of good defense behind good pitching. And here the heart of the order for the Mariners. Third time through, and Minor off the plate evens things at 1-1 on Robinson Cano. Cano 0 for 2, but has driven in a run. Fouls away. Well, some activity. Kevin Jepson has been getting ready out there just in case. Minor, and now at 92, so right about where we have seen his evenings in.
Yep, it's been 93, 93, and 90. And as we've mentioned several times, he's a relief pitcher last year, getting stretched out as a starter. I'm sure Banny will want to keep him somewhere between 95 and 100 pitches, 105 pitches maybe, especially early in the season. Back in 2012, 2013, 2 years in the Atlanta rotation, he was 24 and 19 with a 363 earned run average. 62 starts. Had some injury problems. Came back as a successful reliever, trying to reestablish himself as a starter now.
And the Rangers have been giving him just a little bit of extra rest each time through the rotation. And they plan on doing that for the first 4, maybe 6 weeks of the season. At some point they might work him back into the sort of the regular every 5th day sort of tempo to the season. But for right now, doing their best to ease him back into this life of a starting pitcher. One-two. Another pop foul off that left side. So Cano doing good battle here.
You were talking earlier in the game why Cano would be the kind of hitter to have success against a left-handed pitcher, and this at bat kind of shows that. Fighting off these last pitches. He's not jumping out trying to pull the ball. He's waiting on the pitch, trying to hit the ball back through the middle. And sometimes you get a pitch you can't even do that with. Perfect pitch right there by Mike. Great pitch with 2 strikes. Right close to the outside corner and unhittable spot. Little cut fastball. And as great a hitter as Cano is, and as nice a start as he's had to the season, that was a pitch that he couldn't handle.
It was a good 8-pitch at bat. Minor ended up victorious, and now here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz doubled his last time up, 1 for 2. And in a hole here, no balls and 2 strikes. Final year of a 4-year deal with the Mariners. A big year last year, led the league with 119 RBIs at 39 home runs. And the 100th pitch of the night. Yeah, not going to do it. 1-2 the count. Well, that 9 straight seasons with 20 or more home runs. That he hit just 1 more last year. It would have been 4 straight years of 40 or more home runs. The 1-2. Fly ball out to right field. And just up against the fence. Cruz will head to second. And he's there with a 1-out double.
That ball just jumps off Nelly's bat. Talked about the one he hit 114 miles an hour off the left field wall. This was a similar line shot to a deeper part of the ballpark that almost got all the way to the wall itself. A cut fastball that with 2 strikes, he's just trying to go back through the middle and make solid contact, and short hops the wall out in right center field. I didn't hit that one quite as hard as the other one, but still with a nice smooth swing. That ball got out there in a hurry.
Not quite as hard. Do you want to guess?
I would say 108.
Oh man, 106. Little nubber up the end of the bat. Beltre looking for somebody to tag, and Seager is on. Right, we get so used to Adrian charging those, barehanding and making that great play, but was a little bit back, couldn't get to it quickly enough, and that one will spell the end of the night for Mike Minor.
He got over 100 pitches, 102 pitches. Solid outing for Mike.
So he's done. Responsible for the 2 men on base. Jepson coming in. Offers savings of over 50% on tickets, food, kids' own access, souvenir programs, and of course, Coke soft drinks. Family Pack was a great way to catch the Rangers next week against the Oakland A's. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials to get your Coca-Cola Family Pack today. There you go. Tom, we were talking about a chilly night and sometimes needing just an extra layer. He's got a good one going right there. Oh.
That's the only thing he had warm enough to wear to the game tonight.
That is sweet. Well, Cruz and Seager out there. Mitch Haniger, the hitter, and Jepson has stepped in.
Kevin's pitch arsenal. A lot of fastballs, 72% of the time, and he'll mix in a curveball and every now and then a changeup. He's pretty much the kind of guy that comes right at you with his fastball.
(1-0), and he drops it a little bit low on Haniger. Big spot here for Jepson and for the Rangers. A 1-0 game, inheriting a couple of base runners. You see Seager at first base, Cruz off there in the distance at second. High pop foul. This will head up into the stands. The good news is this Rangers bullpen has been up to the task lately. That last road trip, a 500 trip, and you could say largely because of what this Rangers bullpen did. 0 inherited runners allowed to score. That's the one little note at the bottom that may stand out as much as any of the other superlatives there. Mostly because Jepson's inheriting a pair here. 2-1. This one out to Mazzara in right field, 2 away. So a big first batter retired for Kevin Jepson. Here's Mike Zunino.
Zunino started the year on the disabled list, but kind of came into his own last year. Hit 25 home runs for the Mariners and about 400 at bats. He was a guy that was the 3rd pick in the draft. Got to the big leagues with right around only 300 minor league at bats. Really, offensively, he wasn't quite ready to hit in the big leagues. He was certainly ready to catch in the big leagues. But he struggled for a while. He was up and down to the minor leagues. Last year he established himself. Trying to get untracked after that injury now. Just coming back into the lineup. We talk about all the guys at the top of the lineup through the middle of the lineup. Zunino's a bottom of the order guy who hit 25 home runs last year.
Yeah, career best in home runs and slugging. And OPS, and he had a huge spring training. They were getting pretty excited, but then that oblique kept him out of the lineup on the disabled list to start the year. Back tonight, his first game back. Struck out his first 2 times up, and now in a hole 0-2. Mariners are 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. The 0-2. I wouldn't chase that one. Zunino out of the University of Florida. One of those guys who you knew it was going to be a bit of a fast track for him to the big leagues. But there have been times when the bat has really struggled. He's had some health issues too. Had the hamate bone fractured in his left hand. And that kind of screwed things up several years ago for him. It was odd to see him on the disabled list to start the year this year, because last year he was not just in there regularly, caught almost 1,000 innings. The 2nd most innings caught in the American League. Very dependable. Again, won't chase that one. It's 2-2. Cruz at second, Seager at first, and Jepson's 2-2. This one pop foul back out of play. Chirinos will give it a look. Can't quite close the book yet tonight on Mike Minor, but it was a good start. 102 pitches for Minor, a walk, 6 strikeouts, allowed 6 hits. Got through 5 1/3 innings, and thus far has allowed the 1 run. But Cruz is his, so is the base runner Seager at first. Jepson trying to put the Rangers out of this jam in the 6th. The 2-2, and a swing and a miss, strike 3, and Jepson does it with a strikeout of Zunino.
Take a look at that last pitch. That's his curveball, kind of like Keone Kella's curveball, breaking straight down, fooled.
conversation from his pitching coach, Doug Brocail. Now, unfortunately for him, leaves trailing 1-0. Now we'll see if the Rangers can get something going here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the order, Shin-Soo Choo, then Jurickson Profar, Nomar Mazar.
Yeah, that was kind of a stressful game for Mike in that most of his pitches were pressure pitches with men on base. He only had one 1-2-3 inning in the 5th, but he pitched out a lot of jams through 102 pitches, had good stuff from start to finish. Has to feel really good about that start.
Choo takes a strike. It's 2-1. And meanwhile, Hernandez at 75 pitches with that last offering, so he has kept it very much in check. 4 strikeouts for him, a couple of walks, and he goes 3-1 on Choo. Well, this is the 3rd time through for the Rangers, and you can see things get appreciably easier for opposing hitters 3rd time through, and Choo drives that one to the gap in left center. He'll hustle to second, and he's in there with a leadoff double.
Well, just like the last time up when he lined a single to left field, Choo goes the other way. You saw Hernandez throw him a curveball on the 2-1 pitch because he knows in a 1-run game Choo's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So he goes to 3-1, throws him a fastball kind of up. Pretty good tailing action to it. Choo not trying to pull the ball, shoots that line shot into the gap for a leadoff double. Good start to the inning. Another nice at bat for Choo.
Well, Rangers with just their 2nd man to scoring position tonight. Profar showing bunt. Missed. And throw back to second.
Ooh, wow. There was some daylight. Really tried to put the tag on him so quick he couldn't quite catch the ball, but that's kind of a difficult play for the runner because you want to get a good enough jump so that if it's a bad bunt, you can beat the throw to 3rd base. But sometimes you expect the batter to make contact. You take that step toward 3rd, and when he misses it, it opens up an opportunity for the catcher to get it back to 2nd before you can get back.
Well, bunt fouled off, and the count 0-2.
Good percentage of catchers' pickoffs at 2nd base are on that play. Batter bunts through the ball, misses it. The base runner takes a step toward 3rd, and the catcher gets it there before he can get back. That would have been a close play had Segura held on to the ball.
Oh, 2. Profar showing again. Did he offer? No, he did not. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that was pretty close. So do you assume if he was bunting with 2 strikes there that he's going to be doing it again?
Whoa,
Man, I'll tell you what.
Might have got away with one right there.
That definitely looked like an offer to me, but now he's swinging.
It must have been a bunt on his own because after the dust cleared, he wasn't bunting again with 2 strikes.
Well, the tying run is out there. So is the pitch. 2-2. Zepchinski loosening up for the Mariners. So despite the low pitch count, Hernandez might be getting close to the end of the night. 2-2. Slow chopper, 2nd base. Cano is there. And that is out number 1. But Choo now down to 3rd base with 1 away.
Profar was unable to get the bunt down to move him to 3rd base, but then a nice job. Didn't look like much, a little dribbler to the right side, but his teammates appreciate it. I think Banny's saying right now, that 2-strike bunt, I kind of like you to swing the bat on that one. And with 2 strikes, Jurickson got the ground ball to the right side, moved the runner to third. Well, what you do as a hitter, you miss the first 2 and you get so frustrated, you say, okay, there's no possible way I can't get the bunt down on the 3rd one. But of course, if you foul it off, you're out. And Banny, I think, reminded him, we don't want to risk that. I want you to swing the bat with 2 strikes. And it worked out well. He moved the runner to third.
Well, it gets Mazara up with a man at third. Nomar with 6 RBIs. That number a little low for him. Last year led the team with 101 RBIs. Guy who has shown us at a very young age he knows how to execute in these spots.
Oh, a great opportunity here with the infield in. A lot of holes to find.
Takes a strike, 1-1.
Hernandez, when he's in trouble, frequently going to that off-speed pitch. Throws a lot more curveballs now than he did when he was younger. Fewer fastballs. He's always thrown a lot of changeups.
Big swing and a miss. Up after that one, 1-2.
A lot of guys that when they tune it up when they're young at 96 and 97 don't have the quality off-speed pitches to make an adjustment if they lose that velocity. But as long as Hernandez is healthy, you can see the way he's pitching tonight that he does have the ability to pitch without the velocity.
Mazara has the ability to punish those breaking balls. Really staggering numbers there. A 467 average against the breaking ball.
And now after 87 pitches, Hernandez fastball not reaching 90. That last one was 88 miles an hour. It looked like he reached back and threw it as hard as he could.
2-2, and that one served into left field, drops in, base hit.
Well,
that ties the game.
There's the breaking ball you're talking about, and add to that average with that line drive. Good job by Nomar. Again, not trying to pull the ball, go the other way with it. There's a look at the curveball. Down, out over the plate. Oh, nice job of lining that ball into left field to tie this game. Chu leading off the 6th, making it happen out of the leadoff spot. 2 for 3 in the game.
I give Profar a lot of credit for getting him to third base.
Yep.
Mazara at first now, and here's Beltre. 1-0.
Mentioned that in his career, Hernandez is 45 games over 500 with a nice ERA of 3.22. But against the Rangers, in 54 starts, 55 now, he's 19-24 with an ERA over 4. He's had some outstanding games against the Rangers, but when it's all over and done with, he has a losing record against them.
Look at the last 3 starts. 7.62 ERA. It's in this ballpark. 1-1. Uh-oh. Got Beltre in the hip. Looking out at his old buddy like, wait a minute.
Well, they clearly have a friendly rivalry, and the last thing Hernandez would do is try to hit him.
And like, I'm sure that hurts Hernandez more than it does Beltre.
Yeah, he wants to get him out. He's mad.
That's not funny to Felix.
Well, he wants to get out of that 6th inning.
But he will not. And he will leave 2 runners out there for Mark Zipchinski when we come back. the next Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Night coming up next Wednesday. Final game of this homestand, Rangers and A's. So come on out to the ballpark. Get those $1 hot dogs. TexasRangers.com for tickets or 972 Rangers. Get yourself set up. Felix Hernandez talking it over with Nelson Cruz. And all you can do now is watch as Mark Zepchinski inherits his base runners.
7th game for Zepchinski. ERA's up there a little bit. He's only thrown 3 innings. He's obviously been a situational guy to come in and face left-hand hitters, and 2 in a row scheduled to hit Gallo and Guzman. A good challenge for Joey right here. Tie game, 2 men on against a side-winding left-hander with a sweeping breaking ball.
Well, that one sweeps way off the plate. Gallo walked in the 4th inning. His 6th walk of the year. It's 1-1. Rangers 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position so far tonight. Beltre, after being hit by the pitch at first. Mazzara, the guy who delivered that one hit. Two and one. Nick Vincent, depending on what the Rangers do, either in Guzman's spot or should it advance to Chirinos, he would be ready. One out here. Gallo trying to untie this game. And that one might do it. Mazzara to third, but they're going to stop him. It will not do it. The bases are loaded.
Oh, what a nice at bat for Joey against the lefty. He just ripped that ball in right field. He hit it so hard that it got to Haniger so quickly. The Rangers weren't able to send the runner from second base. One of those with some pretty serious exit velocity. All that lacked was the angle to get it up in the air high enough to get it out of the ballpark. Certainly hit hard enough. A rope to right field. The runner being held at third base, no chance.
A rare single for Joey Gallo.
He came off the bat at 110. When Joey makes contact, his exit velocity averages out right up there among the league leaders. And now another challenge for another young left-hand hitter, Ronald Guzman, getting his first taste of the big leagues. And he knows that if he pinches a right-hand hitter, they're going to bring in a right-hand pitcher. He's going to give Ronald a shot at this lefty, see if he can hang in there and bring in this go-ahead run.
Takes a little bit in. Well, it's another bases-loaded spot for the Rangers. And those, to this point, have not been kind. Ooh, a high strike, 1-1. Mazzara, he's at third base at the RBI single. Beltre at second. Hit by a pitch, and Gallo with that hard single a moment ago at first. Guzman with a chance to drive him in. He's 0 for 2. Rangers are 1 for 12 this year with the bases loaded. Had some trouble converting in these big spots. Bases loaded, one of them. Runners in scoring position, another number that has not been as friendly to this team. The 1-2 pitch off the plate. Jeff Bannister's been giving these young guys opportunities. Guzman came through in some huge spots in that Houston series. Another chance here to be a big hero for his team. Stays alive. There's Andrews far into the dugout. Not as quiet as we have seen him in quite some time.
In this situation, in a tie game, Mariners have their middle infielders in double play depth. They have the first baseman in. His play is not to go to second and try to turn a double play. His play will be at home.
Ground ball, right side. Cano will go to second for one. That's all they'll get. And Guzman drives in the go-ahead run. Rangers lead it 2-1.
Again, kind of like Profar's ball. It doesn't look like much. A little tapped ground ball slowly hit to second base. But you've got a young left-hand hitter just getting broken in at the big league level against a veteran left-hander with a breaking ball. And he hung in there with 2 strikes. Name of the game there is don't strike out. Make some contact. Whatever it takes to get that run in. Profar moved the runner with a ground ball like that, and Ronald brought him in.
Nicely done. Now Nick Vincent on to face the right-handed hitter.
At the plate against the veteran left-hander. Name of the game is make some contact, which he did. Mariners unable to turn the double play on that slowly hit ball. It goes as a fielder's choice. Force out at second base, but a go-ahead RBI for Ronald Guzman. Much appreciated by his teammates. Name of the game, make some contact right there. Don't be a free swinger. Do what it takes to put the ball in play.
So now Chirinos against Nick Vincent. Chirinos 0 for 2 tonight.
Numbers for Vincent. This will be his 10th game. He's pitched frequently. ERA's up there a little bit. Good strikeout to walk ratio.
One and one. The Rangers now with the lead. Alex Claudio was thrown out there a little bit ago. Likely to come out in the 7th inning. We'll see. 2-1 pitch. Oh, up and in. Well, a favorable count here for Robinson Chirinos. Men on the corners, middle of the infield, back deep. Right over Beltre's head down there at third base. Not real sure what the move was. It was interesting though. He's still the responsibility of Felix Hernandez. Hernandez has been charged with 2 runs so far. Could be charged with a total of 3. And that's strike 3. So Chirinos down looking. It ends the inning, but the Rangers score 2. And for the first time tonight, they lead as we head to the 7th inning. Rangers getting it done offensively. Chu starting it with a double. Mazzara brought him home.
Top 7 here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Rangers with the 3-1 lead over the Mariners in the opener of this 3-game series. The injuries have been a recurring theme for this team throughout the season. We updated, of course, Jefferson Profar back in the lineup. Delano DeShields is close, as is Doug Fister. Now, these 2 guys, Rougned Odor and Elvis Andrus, they will be taking a little bit longer. And talking to Elvis and Ruby, not going with the team on the road trip, both of them commenting how nauseating it was and how little fun it was to watch the team play on television. Of course, for Elvis, it was the first time him going on the DL. So both of those guys trying to, I guess, manage their time in a way to where they don't go too stir crazy and try to do too much to get back onto the field as soon as they can.
It's got to be the hardest part. Maintaining your sanity when you teams somewhere else and there's not much you can do to help. And you're just kind of waiting for the healing process as Vogelback shoots one down to third. Beltre with a snare and throws him out at first.
Boy, that was a shot, too. Vogelback sliced that rope that Adrian made the play on, then got a little help at first base from Ronald Guzman, who continues to shine at first base. Boy, he blocked that ball with a rope. And Guzman, 3rd or 4th, nice play he's made at first to scoop a tough ball. Adrian says thank you. Ronald says not much.
Here's Heredia. Nice Claudio here in the 7th inning, gets the ground ball out. Bunt attempt foul, 1-1.
Look at Alex's pitch arsenal. Throws the fastball more than half the time. Pretty much fastball changeup, but he'll also 14% of the time mix in a 77-mile-an-hour slider. But basically, when he really wants to get you out, he'll set you up with a fastball and put you away with that changeup.
Off the plate, Heredia was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning, flat out to left field in the 5th. Mariners scored the first run of the game, happened in the 1st inning. The Rangers just scored 2 to take the lead. Now a bouncer up the middle and grabbed by Profar. Another good dig at first, but Guzman couldn't quite hold it. Thought he might have had that one, but that'll be an infield hit.
Yeah, nice range by Profar. Got to the ball, tried to throw on the run, threw it low. You're giving Ronald a lot of chances to shine at first base, but this was one too many. It was a tough hop. If it's a short hop, much closer to him, then you just pick it, snatch at it with your glove. But when it's out there and it's thrown hard like that, you have to concentrate, try to catch the ball by anticipating where it's going to hop, and it's a little bit easier in slow motion than it really is when it's happening in real time. Good try by Ronald, almost pulled it off.
Now Dee Gordon, and he'll slap one to the left side, and they'll get the force out at second. No bother in even trying to double up Dee Gordon. So a 6-4 fielder's choice for him, and they're 2 away.
Gordon sees the hole there with Profar shaded over towards second base. He tries to ground the ball in that hole, almost succeeded, but the Rangers get that force out at second base. Pretty good chance he's going to try to steal second base here.
Yeah, leads the league with 8 steals this season. Taking a look at their box score, they've spread it out a little bit tonight. A lot of guys getting involved one way or another. Segura's hit came back in the 1st inning. And again, Gordon twisted up a little bit over there at first.
And I think what Gordon wants to do is get a look at the pickoff move, make him throw over there a couple of times, try to time that pickoff move. He's 8 for 8 in stolen bases so far this year, and stole 60 bases last year. And in this kind of a game, down by a run with 2 outs, he's going to be going if it's at all possible. There's those numbers. If he gets thrown out, gets picked off, Segura leads off the inning, and he's a pretty good guy to have lead off an inning. Alex is going to make sure that he uses the slide step, gets a move quickly to the plate, throws over there, varies the time it takes to throw the ball, whatever it takes to make Gordon have to stay at first base, keep him from getting a good jump.
One ball, no strikes. Runner not going, and there's a swing, and that one out into center field, a base hit. Oh, and Gordon going to try for 3, and he'll have it. Did he deke Robinson into that? Did he pull up and pause for just a second?
I wasn't watching him going around second, but you know, in that situation with the go-ahead run being the batter, the play with the fast runner is probably going to second base anyway. But let's see. No, he was going all the way, and Drew did the right thing. It would take an absolutely perfect throw, and with the perfect throw, you still might not get Gordon. And if you make the throw, then you might allow the batter to go to second base, which you wouldn't want to do in a 2-1 game.
Well, I guess at the very least, it does remove that distraction of Gordon at second base now for Claudio. As odd as that sounds, I don't want to give away those 90 feet. Scott Brocious, new third base coach, over there talking to Gordon. A couple of shakeups on the coaching staff for the Seattle Mariners this year. Scott Service in the 3rd year of his 3-year deal as the manager moved Tim Bogart as his bench coach and Casey Candell as his first base coach. Manny Acta, his new bench coach. Broch is now the new third base coach. So a couple of changes on the Seattle side. And now a very dangerous Robinson Cano. Cano 0 for 3 so far.
Noticed some statistics on Cano, which shows that he's chasing pitches out of the strike zone less frequently and taking pitches in the strike zone a little bit more frequently this year than in his career. You saw him take that first pitch for a strike. He's walked 12 times, 7th in the league so far.
He's going to be in protect mode now with the count 0-2. Claudio's had great success against Cano over the years. 1-2. Didn't chase that one. Cano 1 for 11 against Claudio. He didn't miss by much. He missed it all. Tying run at third and Dee Gordon. Gene Segura the man at first.
Most Cano's ever walked in a season. He walked 85 times. No, 65 times is the most he's ever walked.
And Segura was bolted for second and got that uncontested.
And that is the go-ahead run. Well, Cano has walked 65 times in a year. He's on pace to walk a lot more than that if he keeps his style of hitting up this year. They have to at least think of Gordon at third base, even though you're pitching from the stretch, because as a left-hand pitcher, you can't see him. So the unknown is going on behind you there.
Claudio's 2-2. A high fly ball, center field. Robinson right there, and the inning is done. The Mariners leave 2 in scoring position. It's stretch time. And we will turn things over to Chuck Morgan for God Bless America.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome Brayla Cook. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, Brayla will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam.
Visit your local GMC dealer today. That's been a great one tonight. 2-1 the score as we move it along to the bottom of the 7th inning. Drew Robinson to start things off, and Nick Vincent fires in a fastball for a strike.
Vincent's not a real hard thrower. He depends on that action on his cut fastball to get the hitters out.
Oh, it's a borderline call there at the bottom of the zone, and he's ahead of Robinson 0-2. Swing and a miss. So that's a quick strikeout to start the 7th, and that continues to be an issue for Robinson, the 30th strikeout for him this season. Well, a reminder, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. The subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Go to MLB.tv for details. Kiner Falefa now. And Vincent just throwing strikes. Inside this time, 1-1. Isaiah 1 for 2 tonight. Continues to do so many things so well. And he takes strike 2. Borderline call. We saw him play shortstop the last couple of games in Tampa. A guy who the last couple of years has really been working on catching. Now it stays 1-2. Now, he was a shortstop growing up in Hawaii, but moved to second base in the early stages of his minor league career. Felt like he was blocked by a number of prospects ahead of him, and started to make that transition to catcher. Now, all of a sudden, at the big league level, he's needed to play middle infield again. Pops this one foul out of play. That is just amazing to me.
It is, and if you can add catching to your repertoire, you really make yourself a valuable utility player. I mean, everybody that's labeled a utility player, and I certainly wouldn't label any young player a utility player, wants to be a regular at some position. But the ultimate goal is to be a big leaguer, and if it takes being able to play multiple positions, then that's one way to get there, and then you can get yourself a lot of playing time if you're able to play all those different positions.
He's down looking here, 2 away in the 7th inning. Time for Chevy game break. Let's check in again with Dana Larson. Thanks, Dana. There's a swing, and that one line sharply foul.
Chu's definitely swinging it tonight. 2 hard hit balls to left field. Lead off double in the 6th inning, scored the tying run. A hard hit single in the 3rd. Both of them hit to left field. That ball got out in front of him, almost ripped a double down the right field line.
He's been leading the way offensively, as you can see right there in the in-game box score. 2 hits. The hole here 0-2. His last hit was that double. He started the 2-run rally.
Chu was in our spotlight before the game along with Dee Gordon. Gordon also doubled and scored a run. His came in the 1st inning. So both leadoff hitters have contributed in a low-scoring game tonight.
Ooh, strike 3 called, and boy, Nick Vincent strikes out the side in order in the 7th. We'll go to the 8th inning in a 2-1 game.
bullpen tonight. Kevin Jepson gets a big strikeout with a couple of men on. That's Mike Zunino who goes down on the curveball. And then in a jam, Alex Claudio. And that's one of the things that helped him from getting into a bigger jam. Beautiful play by Adrian Beltre. There's the jam. Then on first and third, he gets out of it by getting a very tough hitter, Robinson Cano, to pop up in center field. Chris Martin comes on, and we'll look at his arsenal. Good fastball, mid-90s fastball, throws it less than half the time, only 40%. The other pitches he likes to throw, a slider and a cutter. Throws them almost 60% of the time. Slider breaks a little bit more, cutter a little bit harder, breaks a little bit less, a little sharper. Doing a nice job out of the bullpen. Well, Alex Claudio got out of that jam. Adrian Beltre made a beautiful play along with Ronald Guzman, who picked it at first base. And then with a couple of men on, he got Robinson Cano to pop up to center field.
Martin lately has been as valuable a reliever, maybe a pitcher, as the Rangers have had here in the last week and change. He'll get Nelson Cruz, then Kyle Seager and Mitch Haniger this inning. Cruz has had a good night. And pops this one up. Short right field. Mazzara still coming on, coming kind of hard, and gets to it. One away. Hey, Grammy Award winning Tejano group Signo will be performing a post-game concert on Sunday. Final game of this series, a 2:05 game, and then the concert with Signo afterward. Go to TexasRangers.com/concerts for game tickets and information on how you can see the concert from the field. Here's the giveaway bat tonight, the Beltre 3000 giveaway bat. Got the long sleeve pullover tomorrow. Would have been very handy tonight. As the first pitch to Kyle Seager, right in there for a strike. But you can always snuggle up with the bat. Saw Batman earlier. Yeah, there's Spider-Man. All the superheroes are out. Mr. Ranger. Batman.
There's a
Spider-Man.
There's a sighting of him. Chris trying to go through the middle of the lineup. Cruz, Seager, Haniger, all of them swinging the bat pretty well right now.
Seager struck out his first 2 times up and had the base hit last time, and rolls over on this one. Profar, good job to get to it. Has to hustle to throw, and just in time to get Seager.
Wasn't a hard hit ball, but a tricky little play. Took a lot of range and had to flip that ball accurately to first base. Seager made it a fairly close play at first base.
So 2 gone. Mitch Haniger's 1 for 2 with a walk. Opening game in this series. The Mariners are 3 games back of the Angels in the division. Mariners with a winning record coming in, 9 wins, 8 losses. Won the count, and this will be a little test for the Seattle club, because you have these 3 games here, and then they will head off to chilly Chicago, and I assume to be still chilly Chicago. The weather's been brutal in the Midwest, and then they will have 3 more with Cleveland. Check that. 4 more with Cleveland. There's 10 games, 10 days. And they've got some travel in there. 2-1 the count. So we'll see how the Mariners survive this little stretch. Every team's going to have a tough part of the schedule, and weather will be a part of the issue, no doubt, for the Mariners on this trip. Not here, likely, although tomorrow I understand we've got a threat of some wet stuff. 2-1. This ball lifted high in the air out to center field. Robinson is back at the wall, and it is gone. And Haniger, with his 5th home run of the year, has just tied this game at 2.
Well, you talked about how well Haniger hit last September. He had a solid year for the Mariners. Came over in that trade from Arizona. He's a force in the lineup, batting 6th. Came into the game with 15 RBIs, which was 4th in the league. And he launches that one dead center field. Got a pitch, caught the center of the plate, and he took advantage of that location. Dropped it right over the center field wall.
That is a big swing right there from Haniger to even this thing. And now Mike Zunino, who has struggled, hat trick so far tonight with 3 strikeouts. And he takes strike 1. A home run by Haniger, 427 feet. Into that wind a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about the wind knocking the ball down. Maybe it's not knocking it down, or if it is knocking it down, it didn't knock that one down. He put a charge in it.
Now 0-2, Mike Zunino. Fastball got away from Martin. A swing and a miss. Zunino strikes out. The inning is done, but it came after the Haniger homer to tie the game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. But here, the ball has been given to Juan Nicasio out of the Mariners bullpen, making his 9th appearance.
Well, it doesn't really matter how well Juan Nicasio throws. It's going to be tough to top Nick Vincent. 4 up, 4 down, 4 strikeouts. He just kept firing that little cut fastball up there at about 89 or 90 miles an hour and dominated 4 hitters.
Profar to start things off, and he takes a high strike. Wow. Again, on the upper reaches of the strike zone. Bottom of the 8th, and an even score. And this ball off the handle out into center field, drops in, base hit. So Profar with a good start to this 8th inning for the Rangers, his first hit of the night.
They had to fight that ball off. Got in on his fists a little bit. Close look at that fastball, jammed him. But the result ended up nicely. Leadoff single. Tie ball game, 8th inning.
Yeah, things like aesthetics and style points, those are
no, not into that. That's for spring training.
Long forgotten.
They're very results oriented now.
And Mazzara, who drove in a big run his last time up, takes one down the middle for a strike.
Yeah, that same base hit in spring training really does not give you a great feeling. Your hands hurt, you got jammed, you go big deal, it's a base hit, doesn't matter, it's spring training. During the season, you're smiling all the way to first base, at least inside, maybe not outside.
In the dirt, 1-1.
You hit a line shot right at someone in spring training, you feel great. You can't hit the ball any better than that. 0 for 1, who cares? During the season, go back, smash your helmet, break your bat, say a few choice words, go back outside and get them.
Two and one on Mazzara. Kenny Kella ready for the Rangers in case he's needed. Leaving it at 2-2.
So Nomar, the last time up with 2 strikes, go to left field. Mariners are shifted way over toward right field. A lot of room on the left side of the infield to do the same thing right here with a couple of strikes.
Ahead of that one. 2-2. Oh. Andrews found something to argue about. True engaging him briefly.
Drew looking at him like he didn't have the slightest idea what he's talking about.
Whatever, Elvis. Sure. And Acasio's been very well traveled. Mariners, his 6th organization, and a swing and a bouncer. High hop to second base. The relay back to first, not in time. Mazzara beats it out. Cano to Segura.
Actually, Seager.
What, Seager?
Yeah, Seager,
oh, yeah.
Seager shifted over there. That would have been a 4-5-3 double play. Well, turns, fires a strike. And Seager, the third baseman, looked like a shortstop trying to turn it.
Zara on via the fielder's choice. And then lifted for the pinch runner, Ryan Arua. Takes over for him. And something may be wrong with Nicasio, who's the head athletic trainer for the Mariners, headed out there along with Scott Service. Interesting. See him shaking that right arm. Service. I'm not sure. Is looking at Service's face. I'm not sure initially how much he was buying, but Nicasio talked his way into it. Well, Pazos been thrown out there for a little while. James Pazos. Big Mark throwing lefty. He's getting ready for Joey Gallo. So Rua now the base runner at first for Mazzara. And here's Adrian Beltre. Out of the 8th inning at a tie game. And look at those numbers. 2 for 5 with 2 home runs against Nicasio. I like the looks of that. Long strike 1. Beltre was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. That was the final pitch thrown tonight by Felix Hernandez. Now the 1-strike offering in there, and it's 0-2.
Well, Eric Cooper is calling a very consistent strike zone tonight. And if you are able to hit the bottom of the strike zone, you will get the call tonight. It's not like it's every now and then. He's very consistent with his call.
They look after Rua. Vogelback. It was less fun for him.
The hitters have questioned the umpire's call a number of times tonight. And every time we see the strike zone and where the pitch was, it always favors the umpire's call. A solid night behind the plate for Eric Cooper tonight.
There's the 0-2. This one down the right side again, foul. Beltre just trying to serve it out there somewhere to right field. On the count 0-2. Mentioned that Nicasio had been well traveled last year with the Pirates. They were trying to put him through waivers, and a team in the division claimed him, so they pulled him back. They were like, we're not letting him go to somebody in division. We're not trading him in the division. Ended up trading him to the Phillies, only to then watch the Phillies trade him back to the Cardinals, whom we suspect was the team that originally claimed him in the first place. That
Tricky.
Bill Huntington, yeah. Now a Mariner. The 0-2. And that one lined right side, but Cano flags it, throws to second, one on to first. What a double play.
Well, we've seen some pretty nice defense both ways tonight. Both teams have made some exceptional plays.
And Steve Buechele pointing to first base, saying it needs to be challenged. And for the moment, looks like a spectacular double play to end any hope for the Rangers in the bottom of the 8th inning. All right, Rangers going to let it But beautiful night tonight here in Arlington. And what a ball game. 2-2 as we go to the 9th inning. Now Ryan Rua stays in the game, takes over in right field defensively. And Keone Kela on to pitch in his first offering. Breaking ball a little bit in.
Keone features his fastball 58% of the time and a curveball 42% of the time. You're going to see one pitch or the other. Curveball is a hard, sharp breaking curveball that goes straight down. Fastball generally in the 94 to 97 mile an hour range. Getting a chance to work as the closer right now. A lot of times the manager in a tie game will bring the closer in for the top of the 9th inning at home, hoping to get a shutout inning and a run in the 9th. Get him a win instead of a save.
Well, grooves a good fastball there at 95 miles per hour. 2-1 on Vogelbach, who is hitless so far tonight. And 3-1. Vogelbach looking at his first real extended stay in the big leagues. Had a cup of coffee the last couple of years. Played in, what, 24 games over the last 2 seasons. Hits this ball hard down into the right field corner, and that one bangs off the fence.
That's a single.
Wow.
He hit that very similar to the ball that Nelly Cruz hit to left field. Got a fastball in and just put a charge in it. Some excellent defense tonight. We've seen some hard hit line drives too.
Well, that thing was a stinger.
It sure was.
I mean,
between 110 and 115.
Going with a bigger range now.
Well, all right, I'll go. I don't think he can hit it as hard as Nelly, so I'll say 113.
Oh man.
I'm just glad it's a single. If that ball caroms off in a different direction, he might have gotten a double. Triple might have been out of the question, but a double could have been possible.
112 miles per hour.
112?
So you're right on top of it per usual.
Well, we've figured out a low line drive that hits the wall is between 112 and 115 tonight.
It's very high to Heredia. Andrew Romine, the pinch runner you saw down there at first base. Field hoping for a ground ball and a chance at a double play. And to that end, they'll try and keep Romine a little bit closer to the bag. There's a strike. Now Kela's off to a good start. He has pitched well. The bullpen in general has really stood up in this tough beginning to the 2018 season. 1-1 pitch. It just misses. Pressure's on tonight. Try and keep it a tie game and give the Rangers a shot in the last of the 9th inning. Vandy's had to use that bullpen a lot, but he has managed them well in that he's allowed a number of them to pitch multiple innings at a time and in some ways kind of save the workload on a day-to-day basis. Instead of running 4, 5, 6 guys out there, maybe you can get away with 3. Kela has seen irregular action lately. Bunt off to the first base side. Guzman has it. Will have to go to first to get Heredia for out number 1. So Romine moves out into scoring position on the sacrifice.
Nice job by Heredia getting that bunt down. Guzman looks to second, but makes the right choice. You throw it to second and don't get him. Now you got a chance for a big inning. Come up and fire it without thinking and get him. That's one thing, but if you're in any kind of a doubt, get the sure out at first base.
Rookie's done a nice job down there. Now the speedy Dee Gordon. Keller will break contact. Gordon has a double, the sacrifice and error, and then is grounded out a couple of times and takes one high for a ball. We're talking about Keller's workload. He last pitched on Sunday at Houston. He's just pitched in two games the last 10 days. This one lined out to left field. Base hit. Gallo gathers it up quickly and gets it back in a hurry. Gordon at first with his second hit of the night. And Romine now just 90 feet away.
The second or third time tonight there's been a base hit with a man on second base. And no chance to score the runner. The ball is hit sharply right at the fielder. A couple of times it's been Joey Gallo with a strong arm. And in most of the circumstances, there's been a good hitter coming up with less than 2 outs. So I want to take a chance. In this case, it's Segura.
Segura's had a good night at the plate. Ooh. Mariners 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Rangers giving up the stolen base. He's 8 for 8 stealing bases. That's no indifference right there. He stole the base. He gets a stolen base, but the Rangers were not going to throw through on a guy that has not been thrown out anyway with a man on third base. Don't want to risk a bad throw. Get some respect to Gordon right there.
Now 9 for 9 this year. Segura, that's a big stolen base too, because Segura hits into a lot of double plays.
Yeah.
He had hit into 3 this year.
Yeah, takes a double play away. That's why I don't think you'd ever call it indifference.
No.
You get a double play, you're out of the inning, and it's still a tie game. Now it's a much more difficult situation to be in.
Infield all up on the edge of the grass. Outfield medium depth. As Chirinos asks for time. Three and 0. And that's a strike.
Well, as has been the case all night, every time we show the replay of a borderline pitch, it's at least touching the strike zone. Eric Cooper's calls, one right after the other, have been upheld on our review.
Whoa, same spot, and it's a full count. Wow.
That one tested it a little bit. Right there, wow, right on top of it.
That is pretty close.
Oh, Eric's featuring some good eyes tonight. Or maybe every night for that matter, but certainly tonight.
Well, 2 pitches ago, I was thinking, well, maybe you don't fuss too much about it. First base empty. He set up the force everywhere. Really fighting back to this level now. He really want to punch out of Segura here. 7th pitch of the at-bat. And Segura wants time. Romine third, Gordon at second. And a swing, and that ball hit well out to right field, drops in, base hit. Romine is in. Gordon might catch him. He'll score, and into second, Segura. Two-run double, and the Mariners lead 4-2.
Segura battled. He fouled off a tough 3-2 pitch and then got one he could handle and shot it into right center field. And he showed his speed. Boy, he was flying going around first base. Turned that single into a double.
We'll take another look when we come back. Jake Diekman coming on for the Rangers.
Out over the plate, hits it into right center field. This is a single for a lot of hitters, but Segura sprinting out of the box, and watch him fly going around first base. Head first dive, turns into a double, couple of RBIs. Mariners take a 2-run lead. And they've got a couple of excellent guys at the top of the order, Gordon and Segura. They use the whole field, they make contact, and they can fly.
Yeah, they set it up nicely for these guys in the middle. Robinson Cano takes high, ball one. Cano's had a quiet night, 0 for 4.
Pitch arsenal for Jake. Keone Kela, fastball, curveball. Jake Diekman, fastball, slider. 2/3 of the time it's a fastball, and the other third it's a slider. Probably more sliders to a left-hand hitter.
Like that one right there for a strike. 1-1. It's 1-2. A little off that fastball right there. 1 out, and Segura at second base. So the Mariners scored first tonight. Rangers came back to take a lead in the 6th inning. Runner goes to third. That one gets away from Chirinos. And Segura now 90 feet away. Another stolen base, and I tell you what, other teams have run very aggressively against the Rangers.
Yeah, and the Mariners, they're going to run against anybody aggressively with those two guys at the top of the order. I mentioned that Dee Gordon stole 60 bases last year. Segura has stolen 44, 33, and usually at least over 20. Danny's going to suggest to Eric Cooper that that was a foul ball, I think.
Yeah, well, it's definitely what Benny was saying, because I heard Cooper yelling back. What he was saying, it hit him. Benny's like, no, I didn't say hit him. It hit the bat. Well, those two have a few words. Benny, you'd understand if Benny's frustration is starting to boil over just a little bit.
You know what? I'll tell you what. You're not 100%
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Benny might have had an argument on that one.
Well, he had an argument.
Looked like it changed direction.
And absolutely tipped off the bat. The point of that is that Segura should still be at second base. There's a swing and a miss. Cano strikes out. And there are two away.
He struck out Cano. If he gets Cruz, it won't make any difference.
Well, he's not going to get Cruz because they've just intentionally walked him. Instead, Diekman will contend with the left-handed hitting Kyle Seager. 2 runs are in. 2 runners are out there. And Benny still a little hot over that last call. Ben Gamel pinch running now for Nelson Cruz. Service using just about all of his available bodies. Now Seager. And he hits one sharply into right field. That's a base hit. Segura scores. Gamel into third, and they'll stop him there. And Seager drives home a very big 5th run.
You can see the difference between a strikeout and a line shot double by the location of the pitch. It's the same pitch that he threw to Cano, only this one caught the middle of the plate. The one to Cano curved outside and off the plate, made Cano look bad. He swung and missed, but Seager stayed with that pitch. It was down, but in the middle of the plate, he put a good swing on it, hit it hard.
And he gets Haniger to the plate. And he'll take a strike. Haniger's had a real good night. Walk, a double, solo homer. And he's off to a very good start here in 2018. Ground ball, that one through into center field. So Gamel is in. Seager stops at second. It's 6-2. And a 4-run 9th inning.
The Mariners were quiet for most of the game. After that first inning run, they didn't do anything for the next 6 innings, but then a home run by Haniger seemed to ignite the offense. Another hit by Haniger and another RBI.
Well, looks like Diaz is ready, very patiently waiting for the bottom of the 9th inning. 9th hitter of the inning, Mike Zunino, and he has had an awful night. Takes low and in. Zunino is 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, so a tough game for him his first day back.
Diaz out in the bullpen started out with what looked like a tough save, and as the inning's gone on, it's turned into a non-save situation for him.
Two 2-0 to Zunino. Now to your point, Tom, about the way this Mariners offense was going. They were 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position at the start of this thing. 3 for their last 4 with runners in scoring. They just, all of a sudden, they found the holes.
Yeah, like the home run that Haniger hit opened up the floodgates for him. 5 hits this inning. Little tight 3-1 to Zunino.
Well, Diekman, the 5th reliever already for the Rangers. Mike Minor went 5 1/3, pitched very well tonight. Allowed a run on 6 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Jepson and Claudio pretty sharp. 3-1. Fouled away. Chris Martin gave up the home run, and then Keone Keller ran into some trouble here in the 9th inning. This is the one thing we really have not seen to this point of the season. 20 games in, very few times when you could look at the bullpen in the real late innings and say, yeah, that's where it didn't happen. Bouncer third, and Beltre will throw out Zunino to win the inning, but 4 runs score for Seattle in the 9th. So the Rangers, they're going to turn it over to Joey Gallo, who will lead things off, in hopes that Ronald Guzman and Robinson Chirinos can follow with something of their own.
Win in a series opener this season. They will need some significant late game heroics to pull that off after a 4th inning, 4-run top of the 9th for Seattle. Dana Larson along with Mike Bassick, and we'll have the post-game show coming up here in just a moment. Seattle surging late, and that's too bad because the Rangers have played a really nice game to that point.
It's really been a great game for the Texas Rangers, especially defensively. We'll show you the highlights after the game of the Rangers defense, and a really good start from Mike Minor tonight.
We will talk about all of that. We'll have reaction from the clubhouse. We'll hear from the manager and much more. We hope to see you right after the game. Dave and Tom?
All right, thanks, Dana. We'll look forward to that. Rangers are hoping to manufacture a little comeback here in the 9th inning. Joey Gallo is taken low. It's 2-0 from Edwin Diaz.
Edwin Diaz, a very nice closer. 7 for 7 and has not given up an earned run. 8 innings, 16 strikeouts and 2 walks. This is a kid that's been dealing, boy.
Andrew Romine stayed in the game. He's at first base.
The last run lost a save opportunity for him. But he was warmed up and ready to come in, so he's in here anyway, even though it isn't a save opportunity. And generally, a manager is very confident using a closer if it is a 4-run game and not a save opportunity. I say confident. He's confident to bring him in anyway, but he's not reluctant to bring him in to a non-save situation when it's a 4-run lead.
(3-2). A swing and a miss. He strikes out Gallo, 1 away here in the 9th inning.
First baseman Ronald Guzman.
We'll bring up Ronald Guzman. That's 17 of the 31 batters that Diaz has struck out this year. Around 55%. Very impressive. You see 99 on the corner for a strike. Guzman drove in a big run, gave the Rangers the lead in the 6th inning. Two and one. Think about Guzman. He comes in hitting 278 today. I mean, he's still pretty wide-eyed at this point, Tom, but he's looked very poised, very comfortable up there.
I agree. He's looked poised at bat, been able to make contact against tough big league pitchers when you need to make contact. And the other place he's looked confident, especially tonight, is around first base. Confident with his throws, his flips, scooping the ball out of the dirt. Showed range. So he's held his own and done nicely.
Full count now against a hard-throwing Edwin Diaz, and that one is outside, ball 4. Real nice at bat. Or plate appearance, more accurately, and he is on. Robinson Chirinos. I got to start accumulating some base runners in this 9th inning to have a chance. Down by 4. As Dana just pointed out, Rangers have not won the opening game of a series yet this year. That one hit Chirinos, and so add another base runner. 2 men on, a walk and a hit batter. I know that doesn't feel good for Chirinos, but it does help the cause.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
The center fielder,
Well, Stottlemyre out there to have a quick word.
Trouble with his off-speed pitches. Tried to flip that slider up there, and it kind of spun and backed up on him.
Got Chirinos
off the catcher, off the umpire, and back off the catcher.
That's a strike.
Pinball machine.
I mean, that's what you try to do at the bowling alley right there. Get them all.
Yeah,
knock them all down. Robinson 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Potential tying run gets to the on-deck circle here in the 9th inning, and there's a strike, 1-1. This is a Mariners bullpen that last year they blew 26 saves, which was tied for most in baseball. Not a save spot here, as you pointed out, though, Tom. I mean, it would not go down as a blown save. It would just be a blown game.
Yep.
1-2.
I'd like to see Chu get a chance as the tying run.
2 away. Robinson strikes out. So now the Rangers are down to their final man tonight, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. One for 3 tonight. Takes strike 1. Might have been a brief bout of wildness there for Edwin Diaz. Bouncing ball right side. Cano is there. And that does it. A 4-run top of the 9th, and the Mariners come from behind tonight and beat the Rangers 6-2. A tough way to start this weekend series, but a game tomorrow. Hey, stay with us. Dana Larson and Mike Bassick will be right back with all the player reaction and breakdown of this one tonight. For Tom Grieve and Emily Jones, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us as our coverage continues right after this.